MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs, and paranormal trails. Fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From commerce to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, horse racing, we keep it hype, you feel me? VP digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned, the OG fault, the alpha here is crazy. Yes, OG Vol, welcome to the show. We got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit. MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs, and paranormal trails. Fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From commerce to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, horse racing, we keep it hype, you feel me? VP digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned, the OG Vault, the alpha here is crazy.
In the dark of the night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Meet Mo the skeleton with his funny grin, and Vault his co-host. Let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping in the night. Mo and Vault, we're shining the light. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Once again, Mo is busy today. He's got a new job. He's doing some training. He doesn't know what his new schedule is going to be yet, but he is training tonight, so it's just going to be me. I've got a few graphics set up. I got lots of stuff to talk about in politics, as always. So if you guys want to hang out, okay. And if anybody wants to join me to discuss the topics or to debate the topics, feel free to join me, and we'll have a good old time. Shout out to Rob T first in the chat today. Let's go. Oh, I don't have my chat on. Let's just go to the paranormal so I can hit people's messages. Let's go. Shout out to Rob T. Mr. Dr. Strange is here. Dr. Strange was on that track that started up the stream this time. So if you like that song, hit up Dr. Strange. He makes songs for other people as well. We got the triple OG Mertz. He said last time he was here, Bitcoin was 30K. Oh my God. I was going to say I haven't seen Mertz in like years. What are you doing here, Mertz? Thanks for hanging out. This is our Tuesday show. Usually it's me and MoKnowz. We do it every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. But Mo's busy, like I said, so it's just me tonight. Shout out to Stan. I try to tell Stan the VV chat is banned for today, but I guess not. Dan K's already coming with the VV deets, so maybe we could just start it off there and then nip it in the bud. NYCC, I guess, is next weekend, if I'm not mistaken, and I've heard a lot of people complaining about what the drops look like. It's a few comics. It's the Sam Wilson, but they do have the AT, and I think that's going to be a big drop. I already saw the price on it, 50 gems, and at this point, anything on VV for 50 gems is a no thank you from me. I shouldn't be telling y'all this, but if you hang around to the end, to the crypto section, I'll give you a little bit of alpha that I'm not supposed to tell anybody that I would like to stream the drops for, but the people won't let me stream the drops for because they're afraid too many people will find out about it. On Friday, I made $1,200 in an hour. It feels a lot like VV. It's VV vibes, and I'll tell you all about it. I'm not supposed to, but you gotta wait till the end so we get to the crypto section. Shout out to Triple OG, biggest bro in the house. Let's go. I guess since we don't have Mo here, we can do some gifts. Let's go. my God, that's a long gift. Shout out to Grandma Moore's in the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. We got my man Woody here as well. And I don't have any particular topic to talk about in the paranormal section. I was looking up videos and all I was finding, no sound on the gifts. I think I had made them really low for the Tales from the Crypto stream because I was afraid if I played them while Mo was talking, it would like drown him out. Yeah, it's pretty weak if Trump and Putin are dancing and there's no music. But for the paranormal topic, it's kind of like the chat's choice. If there's any videos that you've seen recently or you know of that I haven't covered on here before that you want me to check out live, and I can give you my opinion on it if I think it's real or not. You know, I believe in a lot of conspiracy theories. Me and Dr. Strange used to do the Strange Vault live stream where we talked about a lot of the spooky videos that are going around. But today, I was looking for some good paranormal topics to talk about, and every video I found, it was like either AI for sure. It was so obviously AI. Or it was like, there's a dark figure in the corner. Like, bro, that's a shadow. You moved and the shadow moved. It's obviously a shadow. So I didn't find anything good to talk about in the paranormal topic. But if you guys have anything in particular you want me to check out, or you want the chat to see as well, we can pull it up right now. All right, let's try another gift. Maybe that one's the only one that doesn't have sound. I don't even know what this one is. Let's find out. Oh, no, that's my question marks. That's nothing. Okay, let's try this one. It's got a little sound.
Brother, what's that?
I have to fix that Putin dance one. Let me make that one.
What's that, brother?
It's got good music on it. Let's go. All right, Dr. Strange says main topics aren't paranormal, mainly UAP, like the airport shut down in Belgium, I think it is. I thought that was because of Russian drones. We've been talking about 3-Eye Atlas a lot. Dr. Strange, have you been hearing about 3-Eye Atlas? Because we keep getting updates about it. I talked about it last week. We talked about it a few weeks ago, but even in the last couple of days, I'm seeing more updates about how it's changing trajectory, and even scientists themselves are saying that they think that it could be extraterrestrial. I don't know. It might be. All right, let's just move on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to politics, so we'll try to get to that because that one might take a while. In sports, of course, the only thing really going on right now is the NFL season. If you're a Dolphins fan, you're probably not very happy with the most recent news with Tyreek Hill, their star player, out for the entire season. He busted up his knee. That's the problem with football. You pay these players millions and millions of dollars. It's such a contact sport that you never know when somebody's going to just take one hit and be done for the rest of the season. So RIP to the Dolphins. Taking a look at some of the standings, there's 2 teams left in the NFL right now that are undefeated. The Buffalo Bills are 4-0. And is it the Eagles? Eagles 4-0. And I know we have a couple people that watch this show every once in a while that are Eagles fans. I think Tucson is one of them. So they must be happy. Over in the AFC North, AFC South, my Colts, surprisingly, Mo mentioned it a couple weeks ago that the Colts are actually looking good this year, which I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to be very strong this year. However, so far, 3-1, so looking good. Maybe the Colts will do something. All the teams from Indiana are good. The Pacers, the Fever, the Colts. We need a baseball team. We need an MLB baseball team. That's what me and Rob T were talking about earlier, how I always rooted for the Reds because that's the closest team to me. But if Indianapolis had a team, Doc says there are now several objects. Yep. And we were talking about how much energy they have because Kakumitsu, I can't remember that's that Japanese or Asian astrophysicist that everybody knows real well. His name's on the tip of my tongue, Taku or Maku. Anyway, he himself was talking about the energy that those things were carrying. We brought it up last week, and I showed the video that he put out about it. It's kind of spooky stuff. 8 are on the way. I thought he said it was like 9 objects plus the main object. It might have been 7 objects plus the main object, like 2 to 3 days in a row. The airport shutdown is new. Oh, that's in Belgium. Belgium always has a lot of UFO incidents, too. Tyreek last year with Miami, most likely. Yeah, that's going to set them back for sure. People can not be happy about that. I know a couple big Miami Dolphins fans. I haven't heard them or seen them tweet anything about this, but they got to be upset. Tyreek Hill, one of the best players in the league, is out. All right, so what are y'all thinking on politics right now? I mean, y'all already know how I feel about everything going on, but it's getting pretty wild, is it not? It's only been a week since the last time we talked about it. Last week, there was a ton of wild stuff going on. It's only been a week, and I've got like 100 different things. Is there anybody in the chat who voted for Trump who still supports him? Or is there anybody in chat who voted for Trump and regrets it? We could do a poll. I don't know if we got any Trump voters in the chat. But man, to me, I feel like this is getting really crazy. It feels really un-American. All right, let's jump into the topics that I have. Anything you guys want to talk about or maybe disagree with me on here? You're going to get my view of it. You could say it's like a liberal view of it, but it's not like I came out and decided that I'm going to be a liberal. Then I decided what all the liberal positions are. Okay, I'm for those things. No, I took everything in and said, this is what makes sense to me. And they said, oh, you're a liberal. So it's not like I labeled myself a liberal. It's just those are the things that make the most sense. Rob T says, I heard it's Spaceball 1 hurling at us. I heard it was a UFO, man. Grandma Moore voted for Trump. I wonder how you're feeling about it, Grandma Moore. It seems like are you watching the news? It seems like he's doing some stuff that is very un-American. I voted for the couch, JD Vance. People call him the couch. Maybe that's what you're talking about. OG, triple OG, Kryptonian in the house. Let's go. Ibrahim Traore. Is that a soccer player? Sounds like a soccer player to me. I don't know who Ibrahim is. All right, I'll show you what I got for you guys. Of course, you probably heard that there was this big shooting. Let me start with this one instead. The shooting, I don't remember what state it was. There was like 4 shootings in the last 2 days, but a really big one was at a Mormon church, and there was a lot of controversy about the shooter because he wasn't trans. If it was trans, you know, the president and the FBI would be talking about it nonstop. However, it's a dude with a Trump shirt on, and what got really crazy is people were photoshopping the Trump shirt in one of his Facebook pictures and saying that the one with the Trump on it was actually the Photoshop, and then they had to come out with the community notes, and you can actually go back and look at the Facebook page yourself. It was posted like in 2019. So even whenever it's somebody on the right, they never have to take accountability because they can just make up a conspiracy theory and pretend like it wasn't their fault or it wasn't their side anyway, which is what they did in the Minnesota shooting whenever the Minnesota shooter shot 2 politicians, state representatives in Minnesota. And then they had such a huge conspiracy theory about that. That dude was definitely MAGA, so much so that even Mo, just a regular old guy, a smart dude, believed that conspiracy theory that the guy that shot the 2 Democrats was actually a Democrat when it was obviously not. So they have no obligation to take responsibility because they can just brush it off and blame it on the other side, even when it's them. I've learned I'm neither party. I think everybody should be neither party. The parties only help the politicians. There should be no political parties. Dr. Strange says the couchman that I said election night. Man, I don't know if that's a good decision, but hey, everybody has their own decisions. I feel like you should. People died so that you could vote, so you should express who you want it to be. You can even vote for a third-party candidate. But if you're I know you're probably like in New York or somewhere on the East Coast, your vote ain't gonna matter anyway. Same as mine doesn't. Y'all can have it. I remove myself from this ongoing tennis match game. I hear you, but I know. I guess you could. That's one way to look at it, but it affects you though. We got Smart Buy in the building. What's up, Smart Buy? Thanks for hanging out, my man. We're going to be talking about crypto and a little bit of Web3 gaming here in a minute, but I got to do my ranting on my politics like I do every week. Yeah, Woody, thoughts and prayers, bro. But when Charlie Kirk died, they didn't talk about no thoughts and prayers. It was finally a school shooting that the right cared about. And then now it's back to thoughts and prayers. Mental illness and people crashing out transcends party. And that's I agree with you. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest factor is that we don't have any type of care for mental illness, and all the people that are shooting politicians or mass shootings, they're all mentally ill. So if we were treating that, but of course that's not what's happening. We're defunding that type of treatment right now. Your state was already decided and you saved yourself from jury duty. What, so if you vote you get jury duty? Doc says my ancestors died for my ability to vote, not for me to vote just because. I mean, I guess if you don't have a strong conviction, then what's the point of voting? I don't know. See what we're stuck with now, though. I mean, I feel like you look at the current situation, and that should make you rethink your position, in my opinion. All right, going on to the next shooting. Actually, it's an older one, the Charlie Kirk one. And I think it was Big as Bro mentioned that we should talk about the conspiracy theories going on with the Charlie Kirk shooting, which I didn't really touch on a lot last week. I probably won't touch on a ton this week. However, it's not making sense. Like the whole 30-06 being the ammunition, it's almost 100% sure that that's not what it is, because every expert can tell you that that's not the type of hole that a 30-06 bullet would make. Now, I mentioned last week that I saw this video, and it got pretty popular. I think it had 2 or 3 million views on YouTube, where it looks like the guy had proved that he actually got shot in the back and that this was an accident wound. because it looked like a little bit of blood squirted up right there when it happened if you're slowing it down. However, I found somebody who debunked that and pointed out that it was actually his microphone that you see flying up. So that was not the actual story. But in that video itself, it seems to me, and he mentions it as well, that it looks like you can see his body move. Then there's another frame, and then you see the hole in his. So, I mean, and plus, if you've been watching Candace Owens, she's been making a lot of good points about the shooter. She believes that the shooter was never on the roof. I wanted to put this one video together, but I don't know how much you guys are into this or watching it. But if you saw the little video that they had where in the background you could see the shooter running across the roof, that one in itself, if you're paying attention to where the where the shooter is running and what the crowd is doing, they're all ducking as if the shot had just happened. So it almost seemed like the person on the roof wasn't the shooter. Then, of course, you got the idea of the gun that they show in the picture. How could he have disassembled that, reassembled that, and then still it's be at 0 to be able to make the shot? That doesn't make any sense. He changed his clothes like 4 times for no reason. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, man. None of it makes sense. And this is another one, another expert. This one's an audio expert saying that it doesn't sound at all like a 30-06 or even a bullet at all. It sounds more like those pager bombs. And there's a couple people saying that they believe it was an exploding microphone. And if you slow it down frame by frame, you can see his shirt go up like this at the very beginning. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Is there conspiracy there? Are people just going too hard? Usually it's the people on the right that are doing the conspiracy theories, but in this case it is too, because it's a lot of gun experts. It doesn't matter what party you vote for. Oh my goodness. You still think that even to this day we're being invaded? We're getting ready to go to civil war. Did you hear what Trump said today? He said we're going to war with ourselves. So are they still the same? It's merely a stage and we are the players. I mean, I think at this point, it's no longer the same, bro. Found out that every president has the same bloodline. I've heard that too, including Obama. I've heard that, something like that too. But if you go back to the mitochondrial Eve, we can trace all of our bloodlines to each other. Everybody that's on the planet today can trace their bloodline back to the mitochondrial Eve, which is a woman who lived in Africa millions, hundreds of thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, probably hundreds of thousands. Doc says, when I'm in New York was overwhelmingly red. Are you on Long Island with Mo? Was no need for me to vote either way. Well, I'm in Indiana, so I know how you feel. Biggest Bro says it makes no sense. I agree, it makes no sense. Grandma Moore is agreeing with Crip Tony. Why? Well, I guess if you voted for Trump, that's kind of the position you have to take now, because if you take the position that Trump's a crazy person trying to be a dictator and take over the country, then you have to admit that you're wrong, and nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. AI, totally AI. The roof video. Oh, that was the second roof video, though. That one, a lot of people are saying AI because you can see a guy walking behind a tree, and then he disappears. And plus, why is it so fuzzy in the first place? It's an HD camera. None of it makes sense. Look into the spec that it was a hologram. I saw that one as well. I'm getting into it, bro. So you can see this big, funny-looking camera that's posted up behind Charlie Kirk the whole time. And right after the shooting, somebody comes and takes that camera, takes the SD card out, and disappears with it. We never see any footage from that camera, but if you look at that camera, you compare it to what a 3D projector looks like, it almost looks the same. And for that 3D projector that looks like that camera, it tells you how to set it up, and it's like a 10 by 10 square, and that's exactly what Charlie Kirk's tent was. And there's a trapdoor underneath where he was sitting. I'm just giving y'all the theories. I'm not saying I believe that one, but like Doc said, look into it. How did he get on the roof with no roof access? There's a set of winding stairs, and it was blocked off, but it was just like barely blocked off where you could just squeeze through pretty easily. Yeah, that shirt movement was sus. A couple of different shirt movements was sus. Not only that, but it also, like, the back does this thing right here. I don't know, man. And then if you look at the official story, they're still saying that he was wearing body armor. You can see right here, that's from that same day. He does not have body armor. You could almost see this flesh tone underneath his white shirt. And as Grandma Moore pointed out last week, he almost always wears a black shirt when he does these things. Why did he wear a white shirt this time? More leftist cringe conspiracy. Bro, the right is nothing but conspiracies. We're not allowed to have our conspiracies once in a while. The whole illegals voting, and I mean, come on. We started with Adam and Eve. Of course, we are all related. Exactly. Although I'm not saying I believe that story because it makes no sense. Now it gets deeper. There's a holographic company that uses a 10 by 10 tent stage for their tech, just like he used. I think it was, yeah, I mean, I was kind of in that same theory as you. I saw the 10 by 10 thing. It's kind of mind-blowing for real. Which means, can you really trust? Can you really trust what the government's telling you right now? And Kryptoni's right, too. The whole Erica Kirk stuff is crazy. She was connected to Israel with something. I don't know, man. I don't know the details of that, but I saw where that one gets pretty deep as well. And then we got another shooting that happened, and does anybody believe that the shooter in this shooting wrote with a marker anti-ice on the bullet? Because that seems like a weird thing for somebody who's anti-ice. Wouldn't they say fuck ice? Wouldn't they say, I don't know, they wouldn't say just anti-ice. It almost seems like the officer who was on the scene was told to write something, and it's a marker. It's not like he carved it in there. I don't know, man. All the stuff that's going on right now is hard to trust. Yeah, she was a pageant girl for Trump. That's right. But she was also connected to Israel, and she lived in some country like Romania or something, and got accused of being involved in a company that was doing some type of trafficking, human trafficking. I don't know if it was sex trafficking. Yeah, it seems plain to me. It seems pretty freaking suspicious. Went to Romania. Yeah, allegedly kidnapped. Yep. I'm in there with you, Kryptoni. I know a little bit of it. We got OG Alejandro's in the house. Let's go. Let me see if I got a gift. We're playing gifts because we don't have Mo with us today. Here we go.
Look, I hate to do it, but I will do it. I would give myself an A+. Is that enough? Can I go higher than that?
Trump thinks he's doing a great job. Can you imagine that? All right, and because of all this that's going on, if you probably heard all the rhetoric from Trump and his administration about how all the violence is coming from the left, and now they have to go to war with the left, and they just called in troops into Portland, Oregon, and Trump said that Portland, Oregon was war-ravaged. That's one reason why they need to bring in the troops, and this was a picture somebody posted of war-ravaged Portland. Just kidding. It's the parking lot after the Charlie Kirk Memorial. And in fact, crime in Portland is down 51% since January. So that's something that, as this person is saying here, Donald Trump could be bragging about and trying to make a case for how well he's doing. But no, he wants a reason to invade blue cities, and there's no city bluer than Portland. That's why he's putting soldiers in Portland. It's like the most liberal city of all. And if you look at what they're doing in Chicago, he's got all these troops in there, but he's got them all downtown, like in the tourist areas. He's not like where the illegals live. He's not like in the gang areas where the crime is. They're just sitting downtown. It's probably because he wants them there for other reasons, mainly to affect the upcoming elections. I thought this was an interesting quote from old Teddy Roosevelt, where he says, "To announce that there must be no criticism of the president or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but it's morally treasonable to the American public." Is that not what Trump is asking us to do right now, asking people to do? He is no longer taking criticism. Criticism is being outlawed, getting rid of networks that talk bad about him, getting rid of shows that he doesn't like, getting rid of newspapers. If you look at his press conferences, they're so ridiculous at this point. He has no reporters that will like challenge him on anything. They praise him, and then they give him like super softball questions, because if anybody asks something that he doesn't have a good answer for, he just insults them, and then he doesn't let them return next time. As well. And at the same time, as a lot of people think, there's a lot of distractions from the Epstein files, and that's kind of the whole point of all this chaos right now. And we actually just had a special election where this lady, Adelita Grijalva, has been elected and would be the final vote needed in Congress to get the Epstein files released. So Speaker Mike Johnson has decided not to swear her in, because if she gets sworn in, then they can vote on the Epstein files. So for no reason whatsoever other than to avoid releasing the Epstein files, Speaker Johnson is not swearing in this person, which is crazy and obvious, but nobody's really talking about it in mainstream media, because mainstream media is afraid of Donald Trump's wrath. I'm 50-50 on the troops going into the cities, fix crime, but don't infringe on freedoms. They are definitely infringing. This is the same thing that everybody else on the right complained about when there were Democrat presidents. They're going to put soldiers in the streets, but then when Trump does it, they act like it's a good thing. Burkina Faso, welcoming people to Africa, becoming one of the richest nations, trillions in gold. I think we covered that once on Strange Vote. I know I looked it up once. Maybe I saw a video on it. But I think that's like the richest guy in the history of the world. and cobalt. Is that a conspiracy theory? I don't know much about cobalt. Did you see the shooting in Southport, North Carolina? Former Marine shot in the head, probably brain injury. I saw that there were 2 shootings in North Carolina this week. I did not hear about them. I heard that there were 2 former Marines that were both involved in the shootings. I think one of them was the guy who shot at the Mormon church. I didn't realize that one of the shooters had previously been shot in the head. So yeah, he probably does have a brain injury. It's that mental illness again, and brain injuries go along with that. We don't really treat that. It's same as that crazy dude that attacked that girl on the subway. I don't know if it was in New York, but that dude was already diagnosed schizophrenic, but you just got him walking out in the street homeless, a schizophrenic guy. I mean, come on, that's dangerous. I thought this was kind of wild that the FBI announced that they're going back in time to 2020, and all the FBI agents who were photographed kneeling during the racial justice protest after the death of George Floyd are now being fired. So that's a good example of freedom of speech, which everybody said during the election, we got to get the Republicans in office because the Democrats are trying to limit everybody's freedom of speech. But we've noticed that everything that the Trump administration does now is limiting of speech. Not just taking down the networks, but you can see it going back in time and punishing soldiers who stood up for what they thought was racial injustice. All right, this stuff gets crazy too. I mean, there's so much going on. Like, why? Oh, that was Charlotte? Gotcha. Yeah, two shootings in North Carolina this week. All right, so now we got this whole shutdown that's going on. I don't know if it's happening right now or it's tomorrow or whatever. I think I saw a picture where all the Democrats showed up to vote and none of the Republicans showed up. And the whole thing that they're talking about when it comes to this shutdown, and they keep saying that over and over, is that the Democrats want $1.5 trillion to give illegals health care. And there's J.D. Vance said it. Here's another one where Stephen Miller says Senate Democrats are about to block clean routine government funding bill because it doesn't give free health care to illegals. And then here's Speaker Johnson that says they're trying to stop it because they want to give benefits to illegal aliens. And the White House even has this meme here that you're supposed to put America first, not illegal aliens. And then Trump, I don't know if y'all saw this or not, one of the most embarrassing things a president has ever done. It's like an AI video. It's like super racist, and the whole point of it is saying that they want to stop their bill to get the continuing resolution to keep government open in order to give health care benefits to illegals. But you can look at the bill yourself. This is public information. Like, they're lying straight to your face. This is all about keeping the ACA extended, even if it's temporary. They're allowing it for a temporary extension if the Republicans won't agree to a permanent extension. And illegals don't get ACA at all. Government funding for health care for illegals we can talk about, but that's Medicare. That has nothing to do with the ACA. They're straight lying to everybody's face. And it's the president, and nobody... You just lie to their face? It's wild, dude. You can see here the healthcare bill that is about to explode is going to cause every regular Americans, not illegals, Americans' healthcare costs to go way, way up. That's what Democrats are trying to stop. But they just say, no, they're trying to give money to illegals. It has nothing to do with illegals. Illegals are not eligible for ACA at all. If you want to talk about healthcare for illegals, though, they do get Medicare, and you got a few options here. So... And this has nothing to do with closing the government, because this is not part of the ACA. This is a whole completely separate topic here. But whenever an illegal goes to the emergency room, let's say we've got an illegal with a child, and the child's arm's cut off, and they go to the emergency room. Of course, they don't have health care. You've got a few options here. One option is to do nothing and let them bleed out on the floor. Are we going to do that? Let's all decide here. We're not going to do that, right? So we have to treat that person. So if we don't give them Medicare, then we pay for that treatment, whether it's in the rising cost that the hospital has to give you so that they can make up for that difference, or if we have to pay for it with our tax bills by the government reimbursing the hospital. But if you give Medicare to illegals whenever they come into emergency rooms, then it gives a little bit of that burden onto the insurance companies and actually saves us money. So either way, we're going to treat the people. Either way, somebody has to pay for it. Otherwise, we let people bleed out on the floor. Is anybody disagreeing with this? I don't see how anybody can disagree with any of the stuff I'm saying right now. But yet, everybody on the right disagrees with that. What parts do you not get? It's not El Salvador, it's Argentina, Woody. We're going to talk about that for sure. They all lie. They do all lie. That's 100% sure. I'm not a fan of the Democrats. The Democrat approval rating is like 17% right now because people like me, people like Woody, we don't like the Dems, but we definitely don't like the right either. You only got two choices when it comes to voting for Democrat. I'm all about, I want to say independence, but independents can't win the presidency. I don't know. What do we do? The Democrat Party is, because they've been so established, man, Republicans are able to win with somebody like Donald Trump. But if the Democrats would be more progressive, like with Bernie Sanders, then somebody like Donald Trump wouldn't have a chance. There's a lot of Trump people who like Bernie Sanders. That's the problem. No one reads anymore. I try to explain it to them. It blows my mind. Yes, Argentina. Let me get to it. This one, what do y'all think about this? Apparently Trump says he's going to charge Obama with treason. I think that's the one that's the FAFO right there. Am I wrong? I think you should try that and see what happens. Arrest Obama. I think that would have some people moving around. I think we'd have a problem then. A lot of people are upset because they announced that Bad Bunny is going to be playing at the Super Bowl halftime show, including J.D. Vance, who is kind of funny because you can see him pictured here in drag, as Governor Newsom pointed out. But the one time Bad Bunny was in drag, that was for an SNL skit. I actually watched that a couple days ago because that is like a super, super funny skit. And yes, he dressed in drag for the skit, but it's Saturday Night Live. Like, Rudy Giuliani used to dress in drag all the time. If you remember several months ago, maybe even a year ago, I tried to tell people that it looks like Trump is trying to implement Project 2025. Well, you can see now, if you go through Project 2025, that everything that's happening right now was already written down on Project 2025. And all the Democrats and all the people on the left were saying, no, they're trying to do this. And Trump was like, I don't know nothing about that. And everybody's like, nah, y'all are tripping. But it's pretty obvious at this point that that's exactly what they're doing. And this announcement, I think, was made yesterday or today. Trump says he's going to have the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, and it's going to be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump. Everybody wants to be in it now, which he just announced it, so how would everybody want to be in it? Basically, it looks like he's going to be creating this with Tony Blair, and I'm expecting it's going to be Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Poland. It's going to be like a bunch of dictators. Like, they're creating the new axis of evil. I don't know, man. And calling it the Board of Peace, even though he just changed the Department of Homeland Security to the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Now he's a peace guy. Big A says, love Bad Bunny for years. His new album, I Loved by All Puerto Rico. Yeah, Bad Bunny's awesome. But Republicans don't like him. Wonder why. Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl is a joke. Why is it a joke? He's got hits. He's got hits. Is it because he wore drag one time for Saturday Night Live? Come on. I think this is an important fact to keep in mind. Whenever Biden was in office, he upped the minimum wage for private sector jobs that are on federal contracts. So whenever you get a contract from the government and you're being paid for it, under Biden, you could make $17.75 an hour. And he upped that from where it was before he got into office. As soon as Trump got into office, he used an executive order to reduce that to $13.30 per hour. Once again, like this person says, more evidence that he doesn't care about American people, and there's lots of evidence of that. I wonder, is he going to do drag or demonology as usual? Who did? Oh, Bad Bunny? I don't know that much about him, I'll be honest. I believe everyone wants something different right now. This would be a good time for a new party to be established. I keep saying that to people on the left, and I'm like, no, a new party can't win. If you keep looking at it that way, then it's never going to happen, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his music that well, so I cannot confirm nor deny. What do y'all think about the stuff that's going on in Venezuela? I think they've destroyed like 3 or 4 boats now, and no proof ever that these were drug traffickers. And in an interview, a lady in Venezuela says that she was the wife of one of the dead men and that her husband was just a fisherman with 4 children who left one day for work and never came back. And I wouldn't necessarily believe this, except for you can hear Trump and J.D. Vance say themselves during speeches that, oh, I bet they're really scared to go fishing now. So that's like straight terrorism. Like, they are trying to scare them away from like their main export, I'm saying, and the main way of feeding their food, their citizens. It's Argentina. Isn't that long country that's right on the shore of South America? Fishing is probably everything for them. And he's literally just trying to terrorize them, start a war so that he can use that war to say, oh, we can't have Chile's the long one. I thought Argentina. Oh, you might be right. I don't know my South American countries, but I know they're right on the coast, right? All right, we gotta look this up. You know what I'm thinking of, right? It's risk. That's what I know all my countries in South America are from. It's risk. All right, let's see if we can find out exactly what this country looks like. Well, this is Venezuela we're talking about. Okay, so Argentina is right here. Now, where's Venezuela? Venezuela is the one that's getting their boats shot out. Okay, yeah, they've got a lot of coastline. Venezuela right here. So yeah, there's probably main source of income, main source of feeding their citizens is fishing, and now they're going to be scared to go fishing, which is a type of terrorism. So all this terrorist activity that Trump talks about, and it's really him that's terrorizing people. And for what reason? To start a war on purpose so that he can not have an election next time? What's his reason? I've never even heard. Oh, okay, but I did see some dragon demon stuff he did. All I saw was the Saturday Night Live clip. Let's go. No, let's not go. The Yankees are playing the Red Sox right now. Big rivals. And I'm a big Red Sox fan. Rob T is a Yankees fan for some reason. Even if I was in New York, I want to be a Yankees fan. Bro, they spend like twice as much as everybody else. It's not even fair. He normally does Latin rap, but the most recent album was a more traditional Puerto Rican music. And he's a superstar on the island. Yeah, of course, he's a big superstar. I watch Timmy Carter. He's a travel vlogger. And he's a huge Bad Bunny fan, big reggae fan. They want on unalive Ibrahim. I don't know who Ibrahim is. Who is that? Bought and I bet a Bitcoin, bruh. You know how much Bitcoin's worth? I wish I had a Bitcoin. Seems like the whole Gaza thing is just to have land for a resort. That was weird wording this week. Oh, they've already put out videos months ago showing what they plan on doing with Gaza. They are going to make it into a resort. They're going to sell it as like waterfront property. But the really crazy part is the fact that they're annexing on the West Bank now and using, I guess, October 7th as an excuse to annex the West Bank. But there's no Hamas. There's no Hamas in the West Bank. Like, Israel's one of the craziest countries of all. New leader in Africa. The whole continent. South Africa, the whole continent, they're coming together. That would be dope if they did. That's probably smart. Egypt ain't gonna go for it, though. Trump helps destroy Venezuela economy, and yeah. Many migrants came here after COVID. He said he should have taken their oil, and that's why he's mad at Venezuela, because we have so many Venezuelan migrants or immigrants, and he's always talking about how they come out of the insane asylums. That's because he doesn't understand what asylum seekers means. He thinks that asylum seekers means people that came from insane asylums, because he's like a child. He's like literally a child. Now we got the Argentina stuff that Woody mentioned. How do y'all feel about that? Are you happy that they have decided to send Argentina $40 million? And the reason they're doing it is because of Trump's tariffs. Now Argentina is selling all their soybeans to China, so China just kind of trumped Trump, got in and got the soybeans. So now our farmers have no way to sell their soybeans, so now they need a bailout too. But first, Argentina's economy is about to collapse. And if you remember a couple of years ago, all the people on the right were cheering about Argentina and how they were going to be doing this new economy where they're taking away all the social programs, and kind of like what all the Republicans always wanted to do, and how it's going to be huge now. And what happened 2 years later, their economy is collapsing. So it shows what type of, well, how conservative policies end up working out. So yeah, you can see they gutted their social programs and embraced full-blown libertarian Muskonomics and handed the keys to a man who gifted Elon Musk a chainsaw on camera, if y'all remember that. And 2 years later, what happens? Their economy is in flames, poverty is exploding, and now they need a $40 million, $40 billion bailout, but yet we don't have enough money to give health care to people. So bad Vault or Vault Bunny? Well, definitely not Vault Bunny. Will not call me a bunny, sir. Oh, man. All right. Here's how some people feel about it. So I thought I'd put a few people's opinions because I agree with this, and I know a lot of people feel this way. It's like, why are we bailing out our farmers now with socialism when we are the ones that voted to protect, for us not to have these tariffs so that their farmers would be protected? The farmers, they voted for Trump and the tariffs, which destroyed their farms. So now we have to pay to fix their farms because they voted for the wrong person. Like he says, if you're too fucking stupid and you voted for the person who told you what the fuck he was going to do, then that's on you, man. Why should we bail you out? That was your decision. And that's what's happening with the farmers right now. We're bailing them out for the decision that they made to give all the money and power to this obvious con man. And as Sarah says here, I don't want farmers to get a single penny of my taxes for a bailout. I voted to protect your farm and you voted to destroy it. It's not my job to save you from your own stupidity. That's how I feel about that too, with the whole bailout of the farmers. The farmers. I would rather see the money go to food for families instead of politicians getting rich off the stock market. Yeah, and people have tried to ban insider stock trading from congressmen, and they were like, no, we like it. We're not banning it. We're the ones who get to choose. We're Congress. You know, Congress has never once voted against giving themselves a raise in the history of Congress. Anytime that vote comes up, guess what? Ching. What he says, I agree, Grandma, but that's progressive socialism. Yeah, well, that's kind of the point I'm making here. And as I'm getting to it, here's another big bailout that's coming to the coal industry. Guess what? Coal industry, big Trump supporters, they're getting $625 million, but who uses coal anymore? Like, it's outdated. They're just keeping that alive to keep people happy so that the people in the coal country, like West Virginia, will vote for them. And it's technically socialism, but they don't ever call it socialism. So as Robert Reich here, Medicare for all, no, that's socialism. Social Security, that's socialism. Debt-free education, socialism. Universal child care, socialism. Bailing out a failed libertarian austerity agenda in Argentina, it's just how it is. Or giving giant subsidies to super rich corporations. That's just how it is. That's not socialism. It's because they control the narrative and people are gullible and get tricked into believing the narrative. So let's talk about some other stuff that's going on. Like I said, I don't have Mo with me today, so I just did a bunch of graphics of stuff that I thought was important that's happening in the world of politics. So much is happening that some stuff that should be big is not being noticed at all. For example, Doge decided to put all of our social security numbers on a cloud server. And if you look like deep into that, it's really kind of scary. There is authorization to upload all our social security data to the cloud environment, granted according to the whistleblower disclosures by Michael Russo and this Air Ram guy, both of whom are Doge affiliated. The whistleblowers allege that Doge uploaded a live copy of numerical identification files, also known as Numident, which contain highly sensitive personal data on anyone who has held a social security number, including every American. And that's on a data cloud that would be easy to hack, is what most experts say. I've got the article listed down in the description if you want to check it out. It's one of those things that I think could really harm a lot of people, and nobody's talking about it because there's so much other stuff happening. Public schools, roads, and utilizers are also socialism. I know, I don't understand what people are talking about when it comes to socialism or communism. Like, could you give me examples? The military is socialism. That's not a capitalist thing. We don't pay for the military with capitalism. If you hate socialism, do you hate the military? How do you think we pay for it? It makes no sense. The utilities got you. They already have our data. I have seen some of it. Oh, I'm sure they did once Doge got in there. But then again, they probably had it before there too. I don't trust none of them. A lot going on with ICE right now. We talked about how, I guess it's the military going into Portland. Is it ICE as well? I guess so. ICE has been doing pretty much unconstitutional things. California tried to pass a law that they wouldn't wear masks, and then somebody told them to just ignore the law. So I don't know if they're actually supposed to be wearing masks in California, but technically, according to the Constitution, they're supposed to identify, maybe not the Constitution, but the law. As a law enforcement, you're supposed to identify yourself, and you should present a badge. I mean, they're just going around beating up people, and as I mentioned many times now, it's all racial profiling. So because of the racial profiling where they're just going after Hispanic-looking people, a lot of American citizens and even legal non-citizens are getting beat up. And you can see here, a 50-year-old permanent resident threatened to arrest his son when he tried to hand over legal documents. So pointed a gun at this guy. He tried to get his mother. So he runs home and gets the documents to say, no, I've got the documents right here. And they point a gun at him like they're going to shoot the dude and take her in anyway. This is just one of many, many, many examples. You probably saw where that dude threw the lady down in the courtroom and he got fired for it, and all the people on the right were upset that he got fired about it. Here's another one where ICE smashed the windshield of a U.S. Army veteran, pepper sprayed him and everything. Why? He was Hispanic looking. That's why. I mean, this is just straight up out of like the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and I feel like they're happy about that. Like, I feel like all these people that are in ICE are people that wish that they were around during slavery days, and they're jealous that they don't get to have slaves and that they don't get to look down on people and treat people like shit just because of the way they look. But now they're like, hey, Now we can do it, and we get a badge so nobody can stop us. It's not black people, but it's brown people. That's good enough. Am I crazy? That's what it seems like to me. They're going to have to issue new social security numbers because these are all cooked. I don't know if they should put it on the blockchain, though. Maybe, but a whole reset? Ugh, that sounds scary. Fourth Amendment violations, unlawful search and seizure. That's a good point. I knew they were breaking the Constitution in some ways. And all while this is happening, the rich keep getting richer. From the world of statistics, if you were making $7,000 an hour and you worked every hour of every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, since the birth of Christ, $7,000 an hour, you still would not have as much money as Elon Musk. You think that's a good thing? You think that's not a problem? You think that don't have something to do with all the problems that we're dealing with right now? Think the ICE workers are just workers? I think they're Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. But right now, they need people so bad that there's probably a lot of regular people. But the problem is they're not being vetted. And there's going to be a lot of racist, KKK members, crazy people that are going to be allowed to sign up just because they agree with Trump. And people are acting like Trump's not making money while he's president. You can see his net worth when it went up and when it went down when he was president. That's how he makes his money. And who knows what kind of backdoor deal, especially with crypto now, he's making. And what happened today, I don't know how many people watched this. Hegseth and Trump had a meeting with over 800 of their top military commanders from all around the world. And I got a bunch of clips on it. I don't know if y'all want to watch them or anything. I just got them bookmarked. However, he was saying some crazy stuff. One of the things I mentioned earlier where he's telling the generals that we're at war, we've got a war within, and this is just like any other war, and you guys are going to be involved in this, which is, it should be a little scary. Is nobody not scared about that? And it's kind of crazy because Trump was telling them, like, you can clap, because they were, like, super quiet the whole time. Hegseth was making remarks and then holding for applause and getting nothing. So Trump was telling you guys can applaud, and they still were not applauding at all, which makes me wonder. I mean, are they even going to follow his orders if he gives them some crazy orders to like attack Los Angeles? I don't think the generals are going to go for that. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all want to watch some clips of that? Because it seems like crazy stuff to me that we have an administration that says these type of crazy things about their own members, their own citizens. I don't want to bore y'all with you. I probably already saw them all anyway. Yeah, here. Let me show this one, though. This is crazy. This is one of many. Where he's like, our inner cities, it's a big part of war now.
In our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders, and you have people shooting at them while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody heard that, and I said, don't talk about it much, but I think you have to. Our firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky.
What's he talking about? He's saying people are shooting at our firefighters? I don't know at all what he's talking about. And if it did happen, it probably happened one time. Some random guy. What is he talking about? And because of this, he has to go to war with our inner cities because of this one time that nobody even knows about?
Rescuing people, and you have animals.
Like, what the hell is he talking about? This dude is crazy. I need to drink a little bit of this coffee, so let's listen to a couple of these while I drink my coffee. Grandma says YouTube is paying him 24. Yeah, I thought I made a graphic out of that. He keeps suing and winning. Kind of weird to sue while president. And people are afraid to not give him the money when he sues. I guess they're bowing to him. Yeah, it's like the third time it happened. I can't believe that YouTube would do that. And the whole lawsuit was over suspending his account during the insurrection. I don't know, man. It's not looking good. It's looking very authoritarian.
But these service members are following in a great and storied military tradition, from protecting frontier communities to chasing outlaws and bandits in the Wild West. And our history is filled with military heroes who took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know that phrase very well. That's what the oath says, foreign and domestic. Well, we also have domestic. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln.
It just keeps going on. Like, all these clips, he's talking about how he needs to go to war with us in Chicago and the left and the Democrats. Aren't presidents supposed to be bringing the country together? I remember even Bush Jr. and Obama, like, they were all about uniting the country. However, this one president is all about dividing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got for politics today. I would love to get somebody to come on here and debate me at some point. Guff was supposed to. He told me many times he was going to. You guys probably know by now he's not. One day, all these people I argue with on Twitter, I'm always telling them to, like, come on my channel and debate me. No, never. I don't know. I don't have anything for Web3 for you guys, but I did. I've been talking about my new photo finish lab horse. I put a name on it, and the name is Tales from the Crypto. That's what I named this horse, and I ran him in his first race. There were 4 other horses in this race, and he started off in last place, and about halfway through he was still in last place, but then at the end of the race he was still in last place. However, we're going to race him again. I got him signed up for another race, I think, that goes off around 11 o'clock tonight. The first one was a 6 furlong. This one's a 10 furlong, so we'll try him out at a distance, and hopefully next week I'll try to get him into a race that happens during the live stream, and we can all watch it together. Y'all can see a little bit of Photo Finish Live, which is one of Mo's favorite Web3 games. And like I said, I've got my horse, trying to train him up, and I named him after the live stream. So, all right. In crypto, got a few things to talk about in crypto. I got to make sure there's not too many people here because I'm going to talk about something I'm not really supposed to talk about. All right, first off, something I am supposed to talk about. If you guys, let me know if y'all are into this or not. Y'all got any VIVA? Have y'all heard about VIVA? It's already been pumping like crazy. I won some giveaway earlier today. I've got like $300 worth of VIVA now. It was like $220 and it pumped to $300. And man, I got a lot of information about it. They actually gave me a little bit of VIVA to tweet about it. It's a long thing if y'all want to check it out. Let me find it. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about it real quick. Put it up on screen for anybody who's interested in VIVA. Do you guys know about VIVA? Do y'all buying VIVA? Is this your first time hearing about VIVA? It's from the OG Andy. If you're on VIVA, you know Andy, A-N-D-E, from the market. He started from $50 and he flipped that all the way up to $100,000. Yeah, Big A knows about it. I did a deep dive into him with last week. Yeah, and I've got a whole deep dive here. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on my Twitter, probably like 2 or 3 tweets down from the top. He's got all this information about why he's bullish on VIVA. And you can see that it's already pumped since he posted this. And I got me a little bag. I'm going to see what happens with it. I'm going to hold on to it for now and hope that it pumps because it's only like a 10 million market cap. It's a low market cap coin. So maybe we'll get lucky with it. Who knows? All right. That was VIVA. And then the candy stuff. I didn't even add that, but I did make a graphic out of it. Let me try to add it now. So do you guys know about the whole candy thing? Because I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I was going to kind of read it live. Futureverse. Candy sold their stuff to Futureverse. But now Futureverse has this weird announcement they made today. Let me read it real quick. Okay, today the Futureverse board made the difficult decision to begin a restructuring of the business. So, like, what's going on with Futureverse? How did they go to buying Candy, who had just bought the DC platform from Palm, and now they're restructuring? While we made a significant progress building world-leading AI models, developing more than 30 open-source protocols, and partnering with some of the world's top brands, we recognize that adjustments are needed to ensure that long-term sustainability for our vision, or of our vision. This process will allow us to focus. They're not saying anything. All they're saying is we're restructuring. Futureverse has always been rooted in collaboration and innovation, and our aim remains to carry this work forward. This is the one that everybody said looked a lot like Ready Player One, and that's what they advertised themselves as well. And I was checking it out, and I wasn't getting into it or anything. I wasn't too excited about it. But then whenever they bought Candy, then I got a little excited about it. But now they got this weird announcement about how they're restructuring. They don't say why. They don't exactly say how. But Candy also updated after seeing that announcement. They said, due to unexpected technical difficulties during our migration and integration process with Futureverse. So maybe this is why they're restructuring. Did something happen? We're pausing all previously scheduled primary sales for our DC and MLB brands until further notice. Our team is working quickly to, maybe Big A has some alpha for us. I don't understand what's going on with that. It's not good. No way Tales from Crypto came in last. Yeah, my horses are not fast, bro. I'm not Mo. I'm trying to get Mo to teach me. He gave me a horse once, and that horse was good, but all the horses I breed are trash. Viva's vault. Big A says, to be clear, I don't own any nor buying any VIVA. Could do well though. Just got my low market bags already packed. If Big A's not buying it, that's not good. Big A's always right. Seems like he's usually right. Do you not like it? I don't know. It was given to me for free, so I don't really care. So I don't know what's going on with the whole Futureverse Candy collaboration. Is it over? Are they breaking up? I have no idea. All right, y'all. Before we end the stream, I will give you a little bit of secret alpha that I'm not supposed to be talking about. Why are there 19 people here? I'm not supposed to be talking about this. I'm going to get in trouble. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 people here who told me not to talk about this. All right, y'all. We're going to talk about it real quick. It feels like the new BB to me. It's Panini. We had a drop on Friday. To recap, the retail for the drop was $25, and you could buy up to 15 packs, and it sold out under 2 minutes. I bought 15 packs, all 15 for $25 each. I spent $375. You can see at that time the current floor was $120. I sold all of mine for about $120 each. I sold 1 for $88, 2 for $99, and the rest for $120. And I opened 1 pack. So within an hour, I went from $375 to $1,526, and a pack that I opened, and I got 2 epics in my pack. And the market looks good. I've been flipping a little bit. I flipped a Wimby. I've been picking up Iverson autographs for like $3 because people are just starting to learn about it. Here, you can see from judging, comparing it to stuff like Pudgy Penguins, that it's becoming so hyped now that it's even past Pudgy Penguins. It's past Moonbirds. And people are calling it like the #1 NFT project right now. Not everybody's heard about it. It's pretty much NBA basketball because Panini's kind of like Topps or Donruss. It creates basketball cards, but these are digital cards. And I think it's because it's Panini, the actual physical card collectors are getting in on it because people are paying a lot, especially for Cooper Flag rookies. So here's some numbers. Panini blockchain, according to Binance, is currently #1 among all NFT projects. More than Pudgy Penguin and Moonbird combined. Cooper Flag cards have an impressive average of 2.8 thousand. I don't know what that means, but I know that during the drop on Friday, there were 10 of the Cooper Flag rookies, and they were selling for 10 to 12,000 each. I could have opened all my packs. That's what I usually do. I don't like selling packs closed, but the packs are now up to I think $200 each. I should have waited. And I kind of want to stream the drops, but everybody's like, no, don't stream the drops. Then everybody will know about it. What's your thoughts on Randy buying out VV? He ain't got no money left. He had like $1 million from Tesla, and he's already lost like $700,000 in Omi. I don't know. I'm just guessing on the numbers, but I don't think he's got the money for it. Maybe Dr. Profit. I thought Dr. Profit would buy it out. There's some crazy sales on Panini, yes, and some good opportunities. I've been picking up cards. Like I said, I had $26 left over. I cashed out $1,500. All right, VB people, listen to this. I cashed out $1,500 from Panini. How much do you think it cost me in fees? If it was VB and I was cashing out 1,500 gems, the fees would be $150. Panini cashing out $1,500, fees $1.70. VB's a scam, y'all. They're robbing us. $1.70. Panini losing the NBA. I've heard people saying that. Panini losing the NBA license. Ugh. Then again, that's going to make the stuff that's already on the platform more scarce. They also have football cards. And I know some people on my Discord are into that. I haven't gotten into that. I still have some football cards from, I don't know, Dapper Labs. That's another one you can get into. But the basketball stuff's going hard. They're going to announce the next drop, I think, on Friday. And I'm definitely going to max out on the next drop. Yes, $1.70. Cha-ching. Yeah. So that's what we got going on over there. That's the alpha that I want to drop. I might do like a members only stream on the next drop, or maybe I'll be able to talk them into let me stream the drop because I think they'd be fun to stream. There's a little bit of market action on the unopened packs as soon as the drop ends, and there's still some action going on. I agree. That should be $1.70 would be real nice. I would have saved a lot of money if I got to pay the $1.70 for all my cash outs on VV. They can still drop NBA, just don't use team logos. That's true. They have a couple brands that do physical basketball cards that don't use the logos because they don't have the license, but they still make their cards and they still sell. Doesn't have MLB, but can still drop MLB. Do they drop MLB? My MLB's over on Candy. I heard some prices have been going up on Candy's MLB cards lately. Wap Mammoth, been talking about Panini for over a month now. I know. Wap Mammoth's been telling me to get in Panini forever. And Autumn and a couple other of them have been telling me to get into it. I finally did. I should have got into it earlier because they said the last 3 or 4 drops have been like that where they've been completely profitable. Next big online Panini drop. I'm only worried about the basketball ones. They announced something today where they're going back in time and rewarding their biggest collectors, which I think is good, although it won't be me because I just started. But like their top 100 most active users are going to get some type of reward. But apparently they announced their drops on Friday, and I wouldn't mind seeing a WNBA drop. Caitlin Clark cards on there go wild. So if they had a big WNBA drop, even in the NBA, because Cooper Flagg's going to be a really strong rookie that people are going to be paying a lot for. They're already paying a lot for his cards. So as long as he's in the next upcoming packs or Caitlin Clark, then probably max it out and buy as many as possible. I wanted to, Rob T, but the guys that taught me about the Panini drops made me promise not to live stream the drops, which means if I did live stream the drops and they didn't get the drop, they would definitely blame me. They would be like, it's your fault. Same with VIVA. When I started streaming that and nobody was getting the drops, they all blamed me. It's like, I'm just showing y'all what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. Yeah, and Harper's another good one, and I think there's I forget who the third guy was. And there's this Asian guy that a lot of people are paying a lot for. Yeah, I want to stream the drops. I'd like to stream them on YouTube and Twitch. They'd probably be popular. They'd probably be fun. But nobody will let me do it. So instead, I'll just be doing my Tuesday live streams. This is our Tales from the Crypto live stream that we do every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Usually my man MoKnowz is with me. He's not actually in jail. He is at work, which is kind of like being in jail. Watch me E-Stream Panini drop. He already said it last week. Oh, brother. Yeah, I should have never said it. I know he watches all my crap and does everything before I can. Bro, if he does that, man, I can't stand that dude. What a freaking... Don't get me started. All right, it's about time to end the live stream, y'all, before Big A gets me started up in here. I don't have any of what you're watching because I've been busy all week, honestly. I was going to do a what you selling. You can look at my eBay store to see what's sold lately. I got it pulled up here somewhere. You want to see what is sold lately over on my eBay store? I've been working on this video for anybody who watches my eBay videos. The problem is everybody wanted an update from my previous videos. So I put an update at the end of the video I'm working on. The problem is putting them together, it ends up being like 30 minutes long. So it's taking me forever to edit it. Yeah, right. Please do. Big Anini next week live, he said. No. No, please don't. I'll stream them. Y'all gotta get Autumn to let me stream them. You gotta talk him into it. All right, I'm gonna have to drop the chat so y'all can see prices. Let me move my chat out the way. All right, here's this actually stuff that I shipped today. This, if you remember one of my videos, this was in that box that I bought, and I did the update on that, and I'm editing the update, and this won't be in the update because it just sold today. This was Intimate Issues, a 3-cassette series that Big A needs if he needs to learn more about having intimate issues with his significant other. Here's an old school Game Boy travel bag for 25 bucks. Just found that at the bins. You know, it didn't weigh anything, but it had that Game Boy logo on it, Game Boy collar. So I knew it'd be worth like 25, 30. I've got a video about this. I bought this whole box of pewter figurines just because I saw this one in there, and the box was like $3. This one already sold for 20, but I've already sold some other stuff out of there as well. Probably the first Barbie I ever bought to flip. It was new, so I grabbed it, and it did sell. And then we got hats like always. I'm always selling hats. This one went for 20. Here's some nice shoes that I found at the Goodwill. Not the outlet, but at an actual Goodwill, and they sold for 80 plus shipping. That was a nice one. I got like a whole bunch of these the other day out of an auction. I paid like $5 for all of them, and I have, I don't know, like 20 or 30 of them, and they're selling for 25 each. Yeah, there's some Nike Air Force Ones I found. Unfortunately, I think they were, no, maybe they weren't kids, size 9, but they're like the retros, the remakes. Those sold for 50. So that's what I'm selling, yeah. Hopefully I'll be coming out with a new eBay video very soon. Like I said, I'm working on it. I've got to finish up the editing on it. And I'll have that out probably, no, don't want to say tomorrow, probably Thursday-ish. All right, y'all. Hopefully next week we'll have Mo back. He said he's going to find out his schedule soon. So hopefully his schedule doesn't include Tuesdays between 6 and 8 p.m. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me again, especially since it might not have been as an exciting show as usual with just the left-handed side of things. Today, my brother-in-law runs triathlons and has like 100 licensed hats. Would those be worth anything? Or they're running hats, aren't they? I have a few. They haven't sold yet. But whenever I look them up, I can see where other ones have sold. So I would think like 10 to 15, depending what they look like. But they probably only cost like 5 to ship. So you could make a little profit off of them. Or you could maybe lot them all up and find somebody who'd want to buy them that way. Nice Nike. Yeah, Nikes used to sell well. A lot harder these days because they take forever to sell. Yeah, I'll be making more of the eBay videos. I like making them. It's just a lot of work. Peace in the Middle East, says Woody. Peace in the Middle East to you. Peace to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Grandma Moore, Alejandro, Woody, Big A, Rob T, of course, as always. Everybody, we will see y'all next week. And I don't know. I might actually stream a Panini drop to beat Big A, to beat BE to the punch. You never know. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you at the next one. Later.